Today we're making one of my favorite hot dogs, the Guac Dog, and we're going to do it on the Weber Kettle. I'm Johnny, you're watching A View to a Grill. The first thing we're going to need to make is the cilantro cream sauce. You'll need an 8-ounce bottle of Mexican crema, a jalapeno, limes, cilantro, cumin, garlic, and salt and pepper to taste. Now, in no particular order, we're going to add all of those ingredients to our blender, blend it, and then taste. Now, I'm going to put this in my squeeze bottle, so I want the sauce to be a little thinner. So I'm just going to add about 3 tablespoons of milk. Then I'll blend it again and then adjust my seasonings just to make sure the taste is popping. And then I'll check the consistency for my bottle, and it's perfect for me. But if you don't want to change the consistency, then skip the milk. Now I can get that into my squeeze bottle, and when I was done, I had a cream sauce that looked like this. This is a dairy product, so get that into the refrigerator until it's time for you to use it. Our cream sauce is in the refrigerator, so let's go ahead and get our Weber Kettle ready. Now, in case you didn't know, I like to reuse my unburnt charcoal. I'll just shake out all the ash and small pieces from my slow and sear. I believe food tastes better off of a clean grill, so I'll get my citrus safe, spray down the grill grates. I'll let it set for a minute until all that gunk loosens up, and then I'll scrub it. And then after I've scrubbed it, I'll use a cloth to wipe up any of the grime that's left on. Now I can get my slow and sear, place it back into the Weber Kettle, and I like to use these tabs as a guide for me as to where to set my slow and sear. Now we can get the grates down and just open the grate so that it can receive our lit charcoal. The Weber Kettle is ready, so now let's go ahead and light our fire. Since I have so much charcoal left over in my basket, today I'm only going to be using the small Weber chimney starter. Now, once I see some ash forming on the top coals, I know that means it's time for me to get it into the Weber Kettle. Next, I'll spread that charcoal around for even heat distribution. Now I can close the grates and close the lid of the Weber Kettle. Now we're just going to give it some time so that the unlit charcoal can light up. But while that's going on, let's go ahead and prepare our guacamole. Now I'm not going to prepare this in a traditional way where I mix it all into a bowl. I'm going to leave most of the ingredients separate. So I guess we can call this a deconstructed guacamole. Now we'll start off by removing the pulp from the avocados. And to do that, I'll hold the knife stationary and move the avocado and not the knife. Once you have the two halves separated, you can then use the heel of your knife to tap onto the seed, twist, and remove the seed. So these avocados are ripe, so I can just squeeze them right out of each avocado half. I'll then go ahead and add the juice of 1 lime, and that's going to do 2 things. It's going to add some flavor, and it's also going to slow the browning of the avocado so that it looks fresher longer. Once you've done that, you can now salt and pepper your guacamole to taste. Now, when you're mixing your guacamole, you can either do it with a fork, and that's going to cause the guacamole to be smoother and more creamy, or you can do what I prefer and use a knife and cut it in the bowl while you're spinning the bowl, and then you'll have a creamy, chunky guacamole. So here's a little trick that I do that also prevents the browning of your avocados. Push down all the avocado that's sticking to the sides of the bowl, and then get a sheet of saran wrap. Place that saran wrap on top of the avocado. Push down so that there's no air in between the avocado and the saran wrap. Then just put the lid on your bowl. This is going to help the top of the avocado to not brown. Now from here on out, we're leaving the rest of the ingredients separate. So let's go ahead and prepare our red onions. And I like my red onions to be sliced really thinly. And then once you've completed prepping your onions, go ahead and slice up your tomatoes. I happen to be using Campari tomatoes because they're small, sweet, and have a lot of juice. You're also going to want to season your tomatoes. Just fan them out on your board, salt and pepper one side, that should be good enough, and then place them into a bowl and set your ingredients to the side until it's time to use them. Now, if you're a weenie snob, you can get some really fancy ones, or you can just get some ballpark Franks like I did. I'm also going to use the Hardcore Carnivore Tex-Mex seasoning, and for my bun I'll use the St. Pierre brioche hot dog buns. Now all of our ingredients have been prepared, so let's grill our hot dogs. Now I'm going to place the brioche buns on the indirect side of the grill just to heat them up a bit. And then I'm going to put my hot dogs down and grill them over direct flame. Everybody has their own personal way of how well done they like their hot dogs, so just grill those until they're a color you like. Now I'll get the lid on and let everything heat up on the indirect side of the grill. Now this didn't take long at all. As a matter of fact, it probably took 2 or 3 minutes. So 2 or 3 minutes later, let's get the lid open, get all of our hot dogs and buns onto a tray. And now that our hot dogs and buns are ready, let's go ahead and assemble our guac dog. And before we put any other ingredients on, let's go ahead and use that creamy cilantro sauce and get a good bead of that right into the bun. Next, we'll go with our hot dog. Then I'll put down a row of seasoned tomatoes. Now I can get some of that creamy, chunky guacamole and place a row of that right on top of the hot dog. Then I'll get some melted butter and butter the top of the hot dog bun. That is both for flavor and so that our Hardcore Carnivore seasoning will stick. Now I get some of those red onions, put them down, as many as will stay on top. And then finally, we'll put on a little more of that creamy cilantro sauce. And then here it is, the guac dog. Colorful and delicious. All right, now after seeing that, I'm sure you would like to take a bite, but you can't, so I'm going to have to take a bite for you. And of course, just like we thought, that thing is pretty damn good. Now, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you're missing out. You want to do that right now. Thank you for watching A View to a Grill. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, y'all.